Welcome everybody back to Friar Talk, going live after some pretty awesome baseball yesterday. We had two games. I did a little preview for the series, talked about the matchups, everything like that a little bit. We didn't go live over the weekend. Yesterday's win was really exciting, but we were all kind of just enjoying it, enjoying everything on Twitter. So we decided, well, let's do a stream on Monday night. Makes a little bit more sense, and that was insanity. That was absolute insanity. Um, this this series, I feel like, just or more, not really this series, this matchup, right? Padres Dodgers matchup has become the best matchup in baseball. I don't really feel like anyone like that's saying that it's not, like, guys, the last like 5 years, it's easily been the best. Two teams that absolutely hate each other. It gets really rowdy all the time. This is not anything new. And yesterday was absurd. So before we get into the actual game, we gotta talk about all the drama. So basically, a super quick recap. I know everyone already knows what happened, but kind of what we're seeing, right? Flaherty, first Profar robs a home run, kind of taunts the fans. Profar's doing his thing, right? Then Flaherty comes up, hits Tatis, and I saw people being like, I feel like, I don't know. People were saying like, yeah, he didn't do it on purpose. Then I saw other people that were like former like MLB guys being like, I don't know, man. Look how he's set up. He's kind of coming in. And we know Tatis, everyone wants to throw inside on Tatis. That's like always the thing, right?
It's normal.
So yeah. So they hit Tatis, whatever. Profile Manny kind of like, bro, come on. Like, don't be throwing at our guy. Like, he's on fire. He's basically hitting a home run right now. The man has a 3 OPS so far in the playoffs. Like, don't be hitting our guy. Like, right. And then Flaherty strikes out Machado. Good at bat, good pitches, right? Like both sides. Like it was a close at bat.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah.
And Manny's walking away, and Flaherty starts yelling, like, what do you say? He says, "Get the fuck out of here!" Something.
He said, "Sit the fuck down, motherfucker."
Yeah, sit the fuck down. Yeah, sit the fuck down, motherfucker. And then Manny, like, you see me like turn around, and he's like, "What the fuck you say?" Like, I think he said like, "We don't play that shit." He said something along the lines of that, right? So it starts getting rowdy again. Everyone's kind of yelling at each other again, getting into it. Then we have the whole thing in the outfield, like what, like an inning or no? Then
it was literally the next half inning.
Yeah. But then right before that, of course, the guy who you put him in any clutch situation, Jackson Merrill, goes opposite field, gets another ribby, makes the lead 4-1, and you're thinking, dude, this kid's insane. I every time that Jackson Merrill does that, we got to shout it out because it's every single time.
Did you see after that he looked at Manny and said, "I got you"?
Yeah, I did see that. That was awesome. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, and you feel that. So then that happens. In the next inning, this is the best part, is because all of this stuff, there's videos of it, which is great. And we're gonna get into Dave Roberts' comments in a second here. But Profar walks up, hands the ball to a fan, and look, everyone's like, "Oh, Profar's being nice." Guys, Profar was totally trolling him. Like, guys, we know Profar's doing this. It was funny though. It's all fun and games, right? He also gave him a baseball, but he was definitely talking some shit over there, like 100%. But it's fine, whatever. Then that guy throws it back, and he doesn't throw it at Profar or anything like that. Like that guy was, I didn't think he did anything wrong. They were just kind of messing around, like they were just being cool. The dude with the Vestia jersey on, which is actually kind of hilarious that he's rocking a Vestia jersey. But then people start throwing stuff. Then people start throwing stuff at Profar, and it's like, all right, like, chill out. And Profar's like, yo, and Profar, of course, tries to get it going, tries to get everyone riled up a little bit, and then they just start throwing stuff all over the field at everyone. Then obviously we get the Manny Machado, speech, and then all hell breaks loose on the Dodgers side, and the Padres just start teeing off, and it looks like fucking batting practice out there after that. Amazing stuff. And you get all the comments post game. Also, if you guys have not seen this, like, I want you to go and eventually look at Manny, and I'm sure everyone was all excited, and so we all watched this stuff. Watch Manny Machado's post-game interview and watch Jack Flaherty's, and the mood of the two is so funny. So, like, if you watch them back to back, because Manny's like, yeah, man, like, blah, blah, blah. And Flaherty's like, first of all, the fans shouldn't be doing that. It's not cool. And he's like all like sad, and it's like, it's just hilarious. Anyways, all that stuff happens. Profar, of course, is like, yeah, like, our fans are just going to cheer. Like, these guys suck, blah, 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 blah. getting more and more into it and just kind of keep talking. Tatis is making faces at guys like dancing in the outfield, like having a great time, hitting nukes. And then today, I think this is the best part. This is my favorite part of the whole thing that's happened. I was just at work, so I just came off work and I saw this and I was cracking up. Basically, Dave Roberts comes out and is like, yeah, well, what actually happened was, oh, sorry guys. What actually happened was Manny threw a ball at me. That's what happened, right? And the beauty of this is that look what we have here. We have a fantastic video that's going to show Manny, and I was talking to Isaac about this before. I love this part of it because the sport we're talking about is a sport where basically all of these guys can throw the ball 90 miles an hour or faster into little tiny boxes that are this big, not as big, not much bigger than my face, right? They can throw it in there every single time they want from pretty much 90 feet away consistently, right? So I love that part. And then this is what Dave Roberts is complaining about, guys, because I know that some people had not seen the video. This is obviously the quality is not that good, but check this out. So here he is, right here. Skips the ball, bounces 5 times. Watch it. Yep. Pops up, rolls in the dugout.
Not even in the dugout. It was still outside the dugout. Look, the bat boy went to go get it.
What is it? This has got to be 6 skips.
It's so funny because I don't know. Okay, I know people are going to say hey, Manny Machado has a reputation, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, we haven't seen Manny Machado do something like that in years. Sure, hey, if he did it, okay, I'm going to be honest. He looked like he threw that ball a little harder than normal, but that ball skipped a good 4+ times. It didn't hit anyone. It was in a perfect spot for the bat boy to go get it. It's pretty normal for opposing teams to throw the ball into the opposing team's dugout because the bat boy needs to go get it. And I don't know if this is genuinely how Dave Roberts feels or if he's trying to get his team going. Now, if he's trying to get his team going, how's that going to work? Manny Machado was arguing with Jack Flaherty right in front of all the Dodger players, and not a single Dodger player went up there to help him, to help Jack Flaherty, to tell something to Manny Machado. Despite all of them probably hating Manny Machado, they didn't defend their teammate right in front of him. And I don't know. It's a thing where if you don't want to get bullied, you're going to have to fight back. And you can't act like a victim. You can't act like a victim when you spent $1 billion. You can't act like a victim when your fans were throwing things at our players. You can't act like a victim when your fan base has the reputation of things like that. Somebody was talking about, despite all the rivalries between the Dodgers and the Giants and the Dodgers and the Astros, I never saw a fan base like this or a player like this. Bro, the Dodgers paralyzed the Giants fan. The Dodgers fans paralyzed the Giants fan. It doesn't get any worse than that. But I mean, shit, this is one of the best. If this was a soap opera, would be one of the best soap operas I've ever seen. I mean, there was so much drama. Maybe not in game one. Game one, it was more focused on the game itself. A lot of back and forth, a lot of heavy, just 2 heavyweights going back and forth, blow for blow, punch for punch. That was a lot of fun to see. However, the identity of the team that won game one was the man they spent $700 million on. And there's nothing wrong with that. You spend that much money on the guy so that way he can make a difference. However, when he doesn't make a difference and you put up 2 runs, it looks pretty bad. So in a game where the Padres put up 5 runs, normally they don't lose that game. It took, and look, it's nothing. I'm not trying to take away the win from the Dodgers. The Dodgers, me and my dad were talking about it. We said, we can't really be mad. They played better than us, right? Dylan Cease didn't pitch a great game. Shohei Ohtani and I forgot who else. They took advantage of Dylan Cease's mistakes. Overall, it was just, and their bullpen was shut out against us. So overall, that was a great game by the Dodgers. It's not often that the Padres will lose a game where they put up 5 runs. It doesn't really happen that often. So for us to lose a game like that, the Dodgers offense just had to have been firing on all cylinders. And they were. Shohei Ohtani came up in multiple runners in scoring position situations, and he capitalized. Teoscar Hernandez came came up in another one, he capitalized. So in that game, yeah, the Padres didn't play their best, but the Dodgers also had their starter come out early and they shut us out almost the rest of the way. So they played better than us that game. But in the second game, the Padres' identity all season has been bouncing back very, very fast. And nonetheless, they come out and Fernando Tatis Jr., by the way, there's guys that are made for the postseason. There are guys that are made for October. There are guys that are made to play in front of one of the most hostile fan bases in all of baseball. One of those guys is Fernando Tatis Jr., and he showed it with how many home runs this series? 3, I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. 2 or 3.
And 2 doubles.
2 doubles. I mean, the guy was ridiculous, right? So in a game where the Padres honestly looked like they were going to dominate from phase 1, after Jerks and Profar caught that ball, the only situation I can remember where I was really scared was when Shohei Ohtani came up in a situation where they had like 2-3 runners on, I want to say, and 2 outs. They got Ohtani. And the thing with the Dodgers is that if Ohtani's up with runners in scoring position and they don't capitalize, they go to shit. The fan base goes to shit. The players go to shit. I'm telling you, their whole identity is Shohei Ohtani. Their whole identity. And it has been. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be, right? The guy hit over 50 home runs. He stole over 50 bases. He had like a 9 WAR. He was the main consistent guy over the whole season. So of course, hey, that's not a rip on the Dodgers. That's more props to Shohei because he is an amazing player. And it's nothing against Shohei. I hate that I'm starting to not like Shohei because of the stupid things I'm seeing and the graphics where it's like, oh, you're 3 batters away from Shohei Ohtani. I don't like it. I'm being honest. I do not like it. But the main thing that helped the Padres yesterday was quieting the bottom of the lineup. Because when you quiet the bottom of the lineup, you give less scoring opportunities for a guy like Shohei Ohtani. The more you get those guys out, 6 through 9, 7 through 9, whatever it is, the better. Because the most damage Ohtani can do is maybe a 1 or 2 run home run. That's what you want to limit it to. That is what you're hoping to do. And it was funny, man. I brought up the whole soap opera thing. From inning 1, Jerks and Profar taunts the fan that almost caught the ball. And you know what? I didn't even think it was that bad. I thought it was pretty funny. Obviously, as a Padre fan, I thought it was really cool. It's what baseball needs. It brought a lot of fun and excitement to the rest of the game. And then, of course, later on you get Flaherty and Machado situation where, okay, going to Jack Flaherty in the Fernando Tatis situation, he hits Fernando Tatis Jr. in the ribs. And at first sight, and I still think this, down to, I don't think he did it on purpose. Now, if anyone thinks he did it on purpose, I would completely understand. 1, because at that point, you've gotten a home run robbed. Your best hitter is 0 for 2 in runners in scoring position situations. And your team kind of needs a jolt. And if you think that may be the reason, could be true. Another thing that doesn't help, he was set up very inside, and it was a shot to the ribs. And anytime someone wants to hit someone on purpose, almost every time it's plunk him in the ribs. Every time. So there are little things that you look at and say, hey, maybe it was on purpose. But it was also a thing where, like, down to, fast runner, got to face Profar and Machado after. It doesn't make too much sense. The only reason it would make sense is because you want to get a jolt of energy into your team and because you're facing one of the hottest hitters in baseball, the hottest hitter in baseball. So then you get the whole situation with Manny Machado and Jack Flaherty. And I guess Dave Roberts. The funniest part was when Jack Flaherty was in the dugout talking with Manny Machado, and Manny Machado says, I'll see you out there. And Jack Flaherty just shuts down, bro. He didn't know what to say after that. I was like,
he pauses. He's like,
I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you just got bullied. Like, go sit down, dude. Go to the clubhouse or something. How are you gonna stand up there at the front of the, keep in mind, behind the fans, behind all his teammates? Not a single teammate defends him. And he gets told that and he just shuts down.
Also, he got rocked.
He got rocked, dude. Yeah, he got rocked, man. He did not look good out there at all. And then later in the game, you get the fans throwing stuff. And hey, I expected stuff like that to happen. I don't know about you guys. I know that fan base. We all should know that fan base. That is one of the worst fan bases in all of sports. It does not surprise me in the smallest bit, in the slightest bit, to see that they were throwing things at the players. And hey, you know, it's not a thing where like only Dodger fans are bad. Ever since we got good, our fan base has gotten a lot worse. I've seen it at Petco Park, 100%. And sometimes I cannot stand being there because of the people that have done that. But the consistent thing in baseball throughout all the years, no matter what, there's always been that maybe 2 or 3 fan bases that you look at and say, they fucking suck. I hate them. The Dodgers, the Phillies, and maybe the Yankees. And that's it. That has been the 3 constants in all of baseball.
Red Sox too. You got with the
Red Sox fans can be pretty bad, yeah. That was during the time of the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. I could see that.
It was both, but it's both sides for those.
Yeah, exactly. So you're looking at it and you're saying, and hey, not all Dodger fans. I love the Dodger fans that I could talk to and say, hey, do you remember when you guys had like James Loney, Russell Martin, Clayton Kershaw, all these kind of guys? Those are the fans that I like talking baseball with, because those people, they wouldn't do that kind of stuff. But the people that became fans after COVID, after they won the regular season championship, those fans suck, bro. I hate them. They're the worst. And you could signal one if they are wearing a 2020 World Series champion jersey or have a hat with a 2020 World Series champion hat. That's how you know. But anyway, after that, security comes on. They were 7 minutes away from forfeiting the game. Sorry, Matt. I know I'm talking a lot. 7 minutes away from forfeiting the game. Things go crazy. Jurickson Profar's mad. Fernando Tatis Jr. is taunting the fans. So much happened. And they fucked around and found out. They poked the bear. Keep in mind, guys, every time a team has poked the Padres this season, the Padres has fucked them up bad. And nonetheless, after that, the Padres hit what? 4 home runs? 4 home runs. Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, Kyle Higashioka, and I forgot the other one. But
brother Tatis.
Oh, yes, Tatis. That's right, bro. I was thinking about the only one from Tatis. But anyway, fucked around and found out. Now, you're going into game 3, tied 1-1. This is the only year, I believe, in MLB history where each NLDS series has been tied 1-1.
Sorry, this comment's hilarious.
It just makes sense, man. It just makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
It has been a constant throughout the years. But anyway. Bro, I know, I'm sorry. But I told Matt last time that he was sick, bro. He was sick, so I'm trying to help him out.
He's got to carry a little bit right now. The voice is starting to come back. I can talk where it's not like cutting in and out of me, like going like and like having it crack, you know, like it's better. But like actually, it got like all the way better, and then I went out and I like did a bunch of stuff, and then I lost it again. Like I was fine on Friday. I think Friday I was like back and I was like chilling, and then of course, but first thing I want to say, watching the game with my friend from Minnesota. He's a Minnesota fan. Doesn't really watch baseball that much, but we're watching the game, right? And right away when this stuff starts happening, I'm like, dude, like Dodgers fucked up. Like this is like what the Padres like. This is what they love. Like this is what they love. Like this is the best case scenario. Like, and I was like, they're gonna start going off. And I was like, and the thing is, Jackson Merrill said, dude, it's gonna go crazy. And then Jackson Merrill had the RBI and the 2-run shot, and it was like, oh, this is perfect. Manny gives a speech, dude. That was pretty awesome. I want to go over like everything. I kind of think like my like opinions on it all, right? First thing, I think that Profar, like, not that he overreacted, but Profar 100% was instigating and doing that stuff.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Profar does this all the time, but that's like great. That's like the thing about Profar. It was just so funny. Then I kind of look at the Flaherty stuff. I don't think he was trying to hit Tatis, and like you said, Isaac, like some people are probably gonna think that, but the problem is everyone throws super inside on Tatis, and he's set up inside, and he's not even really trying to throw it. He's not trying to throw a strike. He's trying to just take him off the plate like completely. So it's like, yeah, when you throw a pitch like that, you know what you're doing. You're putting in a spot where where your margin of error for missing a little bit more inside is you're going to hit him right in the ribs. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of an overly aggressive thing to do. Like, I get why you do it, but they do it to Tatis so much that it's like, yeah, of course. Like, of course the guys are going to be annoyed too because he's balling out and you just hit him in the ribs. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing with that. Then we start, going into it. The game gets delayed, and I didn't think like the stuff they're doing the Profar was like that crazy at first, but it was more about the fact that the game actually had to stop for almost 20 minutes because people just kept throwing shit on the field, and it's like, bro, that's just stupid. And then the biggest takeaway is the response from both the teams. This is the response. The Padres take a pillowcase full of soap bars and beat the shit out of the Dodgers with them for the rest of the game. And then the other response was everyone on the Dodgers has their tail between their legs. And then this afternoon, Dave Roberts is like, yeah, well, Manny tried to throw a baseball at me. It's like, what?
Quick thing, real
What?
quick. I just saw on Twitter that the Dodgers sent that footage to the MLB so that way they can investigate it.
The video of him throwing the ball.
The Manny thing. Yep.
Mm-hmm. With the same speed that I could throw a baseball like left-handed with my eyes shut.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious.
Little brother
and
mentality.
Also, the other thing I saw that people talking about was we've been talking about this for way too long. We got to get back in the series in a second. But the last thing I'll bring up is if you guys listen to Ben and Woods, I listened to their shows this morning, and
goats.
One thing they were talking about, they were like, huh?
They're goats, Ben and Woods.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one thing I thought was funny was that they were talking about, they're like, the craziest thing to me is that nobody on the Dodgers comes out to stop anyone. And if you guys remember when this happened at Yankee Stadium like a year or two ago, and I go to Yankee Stadium all the time. I like Yankee Stadium. It's fine. But fans were throwing at stuff at the outfielders, and I get into it. And who was the first guy that went up there? Who was the first guy? Aaron Judge took off, ran into the outfield, and was like, yo, we do not do this. And then guess what happened? Everyone stopped. Wow, that's a crazy thing. And they brought that up a few times, and I thought that was a super important thing to bring up because I think that was a big thing too. Like, bro, and they're like, dude, Mookie had Fernando on his podcast, but no one can go up and talk to them. Like, come on, dude, that's weak. That's weak. Mm-hmm. So I think the responses is a crazy part. And with the responses, let's talk actual baseball now. We've been talking about this other stuff. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. That's the thing.
It's fun. That's what people want to hear, man.
But the thing was, when I talked about the preview, I said I really wanted the Padres to win game one because it sets the tone, does all that. But I said, if you're going to win the series, you have to split LA. They split LA.
Yep.
They split LA. This is way better than winning game one because game one, it's back and forth. You have a lead. Ohtani has a couple of big hits, right? They take the lead. Padres are fighting back a bunch. I think that the bases loaded twice when they were down 2 runs, right? They can't get it done. They don't get the big hit. They don't deliver. And you felt the team kind of, it felt like, I don't know, like a little bit uncomfortableness, right? Like a little bit of nerves, right? All the nerves and stuff. Dude, that's gone. That's completely switched where it's, you just dominated the other team. You beat the crap out of them. And now you're in a spot where you have the advantage. You have the leverage. You have Michael King out tomorrow, right?
Yep.
You got to win that game, but you win that game and it's like all of the momentum. So now you're in such a good spot where it's like, I don't know. It feels like the nerves from all of this happening. It's such a perfect thing to have happen. Like if you're going to lose game one, there's not a better possible way to win game two. especially when you're on the road. Like there's
100%.
no way that you could ever win a better game than that. Like, so that's the thing that's crazy. So you're going into it now. You get Michael King on Tuesday. We believe from an unnamed source. I don't really care. I'm going to say it. We
I don't know who it
believe
is.
that, I don't know who it is, but apparently Dylan Cease is supposed to pitch on Wednesday. If that happens, we got you. We called it here first. All right. So Dylan Cease is apparently supposed to pitch on Wednesday on what is that? 3 days rest,
Yep.
and then you do Darvish on Friday, which is absolutely what they should do. And if Dylan Cease, if that's false, and he's not going to go on Wednesday, it should be Martin Perez. It shouldn't. Darvish, and it should be Darvish on Friday.
Game
Like
5.
Darvish has to be scheduled for
100%.
game 5, in my
No
opinion.
doubt.
It has to be like that.
Yep.
And now you're sitting in a spot where it's like, let's just keep rolling. Let's just roll it over, and let's take it at Petco, which is a very exciting thing. The lineup is really hot. I mean, Cronenworth obviously is in a horrendous slump, but I don't know if I finally feel like his swing is starting to level out a little bit, which is good, because you know how Cronenworth does the thing where like he's either grounding out baseballs or he's popping them up like over and over and doesn't feel level. I feel like this swing is actually starting to kind of come back. And also, yeah, I feel like he's due for a clutch hit sometime. But then you look at the lineup, you're like, I mean, Ariza's like numbers aren't that crazy, but he's looked pretty good. Fernando is the hottest player in the sport right now. Manny's had some big time hits. Merrill's on fire. Bogarts is balling out. Higashioka is like the second best player in the postseason so far. You got David Peralta, Solano. You just keep letting that platoon do its thing. And then I think the only guy I didn't mention was Profar. So it's like you're in a good spot. Biggest thing is pitching just has to come through, because I got full faith in the bats right now. I got full faith in the lineups, but I don't know, dude. How you feeling now? How you feeling with the 1-1 split? Because I feel good,
Dude. I feel good, bro. I feel like, hey, you put yourself in a spot 1-1. You're right, man. If you're gonna lose game 1, and keep in mind, man, that game 1, it wasn't like that whole game. You still felt like they could win, right? They were down to their last at bat with Manny Machado, and that's when you finally felt like, oh fuck, like we lost, right? That whole time, I felt like we were gonna win that ball game. Not at a single point did I feel not confident that we were gonna win, but didn't win. For the Dodgers, after the first home run, I believe it was Jackson Merrill. After the first home run was hit to make it 6-1, it was over. It was over. It was more than over. After all the things that had happened, all the arguing, the fans, everything that had happened, the final blow came from, I want to say Jackson Merrill. You could say Fernando Tatis Jr., because nothing's cooler, man, than the Fernando Tatis Jr. bat flip and walking around the bases, doing a stutter step around third, all that kind of stuff. You could say that was the final blow. But win 10-2, bats are on fire, going back to Petco. I'll tell you what, any Dodger fans watching, Petco Park is going to be way worse for your players to play in than Dodger Stadium is for our players. They do not want to go to Petco Park, man. Petco Park is behind the bank, which is Citizens Bank for the Phillies. Behind the bank, Petco Park is probably the last place you want to play right now. I would say so. I'm going to be there game 4, and I can't wait to feel the ground moving. The ground is going to be – I'm going to game 4, yep. I can't wait to feel the ground shaking if the Padres – and for anything good that happens, man, anything good, it's going to be ecstatic. So I'm really excited to go to that. But after all that happened and after all the momentum that the Padres took from the Dodgers, Petco Park's going to be rocking, man. So the Padres, the thing in that game is going to be get out on top first, strike early, strike often. Get 3 runs, 4 runs on the board before they take the starter out. Take Buehler out of the game in the 4th, man. Get him out of there. And don't get him out of there because Dave Roberts wants to use his analytics to go best matchup. Get him out of there because he got fucked up. Simple as that, man. And the thing is, the Padres. I was looking into their numbers earlier against Walker
Wait,
Buehler.
wait, never mind. You're gonna. I know you're gonna say. Never mind.
Yeah. So I was looking into their numbers earlier against Walker Buehler. Not that great, but our hottest hitter has over 1,000 OPS against Walker Buehler. So that's awesome. Manny Machado has a pretty solid average. OPS really isn't there, but keep in mind, they've been seeing Walker Buehler for a while now. This isn't the same Walker Buehler from 2022 and prior. This is a different Walker Buehler. This is a Walker Buehler that has over a 4 ERA in his last 7 starts and over a 5 ERA over the last month, I believe. It's a completely different guy. And his last start, he looked good against the Padres, man. I thought he did. I think he pitched really well against the Padres last start.
I know one thing about it, though, and this is the thing. So in his last start against the Padres, he did have a good outing. He went 5.
Yeah.
He went 5 innings, allowed a run, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing. He struck out 1 guy.
Yep.
And these dudes are hot. And we know hitting's contagious. All that stuff is true. You start hitting balls in play, it's going to get crazy. Like, you have that one big inning early, and all of a sudden, and like you're talking about having the home field, it just turns into a snowball.
Yep. And
especially when Fernando goes yard in the bottom of the first.
And the thing is, dude, I was thinking today, I was like, damn, after last night's game, I kind of don't even want the day off. But then you look at today and you're like, oh my God, this is the best day off ever. Dave Roberts is crying to the MLB because Manny Machado lobbed the ball his way. Jack Flaherty's crying. All of these players are shook. Meanwhile, the Padres, Manny Machado saying, yeah, I talked about it yesterday. Don't really want to talk about it right now. On to tomorrow. And he's focused on going to beat the Dodgers, man. He's not focused on yesterday. It was awesome, though. It was awesome. All the drama. This feels like Yankees Red Sox. This genuinely feels, it has that feel. This is the Southern California rivalry right now. And, maybe. Dude, yesterday
he should have. No, when they announce it, no, this was going to happen. I know he's going to hit it because their game's before. So they're going to be like, in the other series, remember what happened last night, blah, 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 blah. And Nick Castellanos goes deep as they're showing like the Roberts talking about it thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, dude, yesterday when he hit the game winner, I was like, yo, what just happened, bro? Like, something just happened. Like, what made Castellanos do that? I was like, bro, I need to be on the lookout. Hold on. But yeah, man, that was crazy. I mean, dude, this is the best. The NLDS right now is as good as it can be. Phillies Mets have one of the best games of the year. Dodgers Padres got all of the drama, all of the intensity right now. This is the best NLDS I can remember. So, there's going to be no better way. There is no better way to go into Game 3 than with Michael King on the mound after a 10-2 victory. But the thing with baseball is, and I'm only saying this because I don't want everyone to think we're going to put up 10 runs again. I hope we do, but I don't want everyone to think we're going to do it again. The thing with baseball is that things change so fast on a day-to-day basis. So if the Padres don't go out there and take advantage of the momentum they just got, take advantage of really how frightened the Dodgers seem. They seem scared. And I'm not saying that because there's bias or anything, but dude, look at all of their actions, man. Their fans were throwing stuff on the field and they were just sitting there. Did you see Mookie when they were throwing stuff on the field? Dude looked depressed. He looked so sad. And that was the energy of the rest of the game from the Dodgers. So the way you win this series is you go out there and you sock them in the mouth again. And then you go do it in Game 4. I don't think you want this series going back to LA. Yeah, Dave Roberts calling for throwing them. That's true, bro. That's true. That is almost exactly how it goes. But yeah, man, how you feeling about Game 3? What do you think? Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see. I see. I feel like I see that this is interesting. It's probably true. They're not gonna give Tatis anything to hit. He'll probably get pitched to, but more cautiously than ever. But that's fine. Like, walk him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, you got the hard order right behind it. That's kind of the problem. The Padres lineup's deep enough where it's like across the board. I think the biggest thing is we haven't talked about it at all in this Game 3 matchup, but we just need to see. Like, I'll feel so confident if we get the Michael King that we saw in Game 1 of the wild card
Oh
round.
man,
That was insane. That was whiff. And like, look, I get that the Braves lineup is kind of like a big swing and miss lineup, but like, watch the pitches. Like they're coming in and then they're just dying. Like they had that one graphic where it's like his strikeouts, and it was like, shoo, and everything just goes into all the different spots of like every possible arm angle. You're like, that's ridiculous.
it was
So
nasty.
that's the biggest thing. Do we get
Yeah.
the Michael King outing that we got, like a week ago?
Yeah,
I think, exactly a week ago. Wow. Yeah.
exactly.
That's the number one thing. I feel like the lineup, I have faith in them. Obviously, you want to limit Ohtani, but it is going to be popping in there. Ohtani's coming off going 0 for 4. Still going to be balling out or whatever, but they might not play with Freddie. I don't know what Freddie's deal is. I know he hurt his ankle and he played and then they pulled him. People are talking about the bottom of the lineup for the Dodgers. It's not very good. That's true, but in Game 1, they stepped up.
Yeah,
they stepped up in Game 1. That's why they won that game. Like, Ohtani had big hits, but they were getting on base and they played really well. Yep. So that's the other thing. You want Gavin Lux, right? Like all those guys to be like kind of just whatever at the bottom of the lineup. But the biggest thing is it's going to be Ohtani. And the big question is like, is Mookie ever going to show up in the playoffs again? Because like he's 0 for 22. Yep. He said today he saw 400 pitches trying to get out of the slump, which is like, he's like, I don't really know how to stay out of the slump, but he's overthinking it. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Sure. Like it's in his head and he's in his head about it. And when he sees that, and it's also great that it's like, he's in that spot. He goes to hit a home run and then Profar robs him. Like that's like mentally, that's so demoralizing.
It's draining, dude. Oh man, sorry to overtake it, man. I just remember as a baseball player being in a slump. If I pissed on a ball and someone caught it, oh, the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, because you like finally connect. Like it would be the same thing we just saw Cronenworth like line one, and then it's like a guy like lays out. You're like, Another thing we didn't really mention about, and this is also a huge difference in Game 1 and Game 2, and this is always going to be the case. Defense. Game 1, Machado had a very unorthodox error.
Yeah.
Game 2, Profar robbed a home run. Merrill made a catch at the wall. And Tatis made one of the most insane catches I've ever seen. Dude. That thing was pissed on, dude. It was piss missile. Just full extension. Wah, snatches it. Like so that's like another huge deal. And then also Arise also was balling out at first. He had 2 like great plays at first.
Yep.
So that's the thing is it's like it really comes down to the pitching and the defense no matter what. Like I have faith in the lineup. I don't think they're going to hit 6 home runs. They should still be able to win without doing that. Like that's the bottom line. Don't let guys like Muncy and Teoscar Hernandez, stuff like that. Don't let those guys beat you. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Keep
pitch around Ohtani.
Exactly. Keep him quiet, man. Make the bottom of the lineup work, bro. Don't give him any free passes because the issue with the first game was that Dylan Cease was giving him free passes, and that gave Ohtani the chance to capitalize and bring them all in. So if you're going to limit the damage of the Dodgers from the Dodgers lineup, no free passes. No free passes to guys like Gavin Lux, Miggy Rojas. I think Tommy Edman's pretty solid, but no free passes to guys like that, man. You can't, because the last thing you want to do is have Ohtani with more than one runner on, right? So that's going to be the key for Michael King tomorrow. Don't issue any free passes. What is it now? 21 hours until Fernando Tatis Jr. is up to bat. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I was listen. I don't know. I'm with you, dude. I'm pumped though. The playoffs are so much fun. I saw some people asking Phillies, Mets, who do you want to see? I don't really want to get into that because it's like you got to take care of business now.
Yeah.
I will just say quickly, I definitely want to see the Mets. One, I will 100% go to the Mets.
Fucking haunt my nightmares.
But the Phillies are also just scary, bro. Like I don't want to mess with the Phillies. I think the Phillies are going to win the series. That's the other thing. And I also saw a comment. Where was it earlier? Who was it? Um, I gotta find it. Oh, Greg Q. He said, "Fantastic divisional series this
So
year.
fire, bro.
All four of them. They're
So
all
fire.
1-1. They're all 1-1. That's crazy." So I mean, I guess the other series kind of go to real quick. I just want to see like who do you actually think is gonna win? I honestly think it's gonna be Yankees Tigers.
Dude,
I don't know, like
Tariq
they're just
Skubal in the post. Oh my god, dude. 7 shutout innings again, bro. And I was begging. I was like, somebody give this guy run support, man, because this guy is on a freaking tear, bro. Shuts down the Astros lineup. A week later, shuts down the Guardians lineup. It's the most insane thing I've seen. Skubal is pitching lights out right now. He's pitching like his life depends on it. It's beautiful. And nonetheless, this is what's so awesome about postseason baseball. Emmanuel Clase allowed 5 runs all year. And in his first postseason, what is it, first or second postseason appearance, he allows 3 runs. Like, dude, freaking crazy, bro. Like, it's insane. Sometimes you got to be the team of destiny. Right now, it feels like it's the Tigers. Not only that, man, but does anyone really, like, people think, oh, well, the Tigers don't really have any pitching. What pitching do the Guardians have? I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
who do they got?
I'd love to know because genuinely, other than their bullpen's good. Their bullpen's good.
Oh,
but
BB.
the Tigers, yeah, that's it. Just Tanner Bibby, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's the only guy I was able to think of. So, I mean, I think it's going to be
Matthew Boyd's pitching tomorrow. I'm pretty sure, which is not like Chase likes Matthew Boyd as like a game 3 guy.
Yeah, against one of the
He
hottest.
just hasn't played that much. He's not like bad. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
their 2's Gavin Williams, who has almost a 5 ERA.
Yeah. Oh wow. I think it's going to be Tigers Yankees. I also think it. And I'm gonna go back to that Mets series. You said Phillies will win. I'm taking the Mets.
The Mets kind of have that vibe to them too.
Dude,
like
they have it right now, bro. It's insane what they got. And I know the Phillies ended off on a pretty high note. But now you got to go back to New York after the Mets have given you 2 games where that's right. Yes, I saw updates on Matthew Boyd today.
I didn't watch. I was working today. I was just checking. I didn't even realize. I just saw that like, oh, a home. Like I was like, oh my god, Tigers had a 3-run home run in the top of the 9th.
Yes,
I just saw that.
It was insane.
I need to watch it. I actually never saw it yet.
It was crazy, bro.
Actually nuts.
Because Clase has been lights out all year. Like, if you're looking at a reliever that could win Cy Young, it was going to be Clase, no doubt about it. And
0.6 ERA, 0.6 WHIP in 74 outings.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if there was anyone that was going to win the Cy Young, it was going to be him, out of the bullpen at least. But yeah, man, I'm taking Yankees. I'm taking Detroit. I'm taking New York. I'm not going to speak for this one because I genuinely do not know. This one has me stressing out every time I talk about it, every time I think about it, every time I go on Twitter. It's like, dude, I can't take this, bro. I need the series to be over. But it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it is stressful. I saw like like that classic meme where it's like the 2 of the same guys on the bus or the train, and it's like whatever. It's like me watching other teams in the postseason. It's all smiling, like me watching my own team, and you're like stressed out to the fucking max.
That's exactly what it is, bro.
God. No, it is like that, but it is fun because once it gets going, it's like, oh, let's go. Well, that's what it kind of felt like in that game 1. In both the game 1s, felt like just a little bit. It's you're anxious, right? That Braves game 1, and then you just see that like Michael King's just dealing, and then you felt relieved, very relieved when that happened, like in that series, right? And then like all of game 1 in the Dodgers in the first one against the Dodgers, right?
Yep.
Kind of back and forth, like it's just like like you're not like there's nerves, like you can feel them on the field also. And then right when all that stuff went down yesterday, it all went away. Like that's where I felt like it's like, okay. Like now it's just kind of like now you're playing, which is cool, which is really cool. But yeah. So ideally, Padres are gonna have King, Cease, Darvish. And I think that makes sense too. You have to, Cease has to. He pitched 88 pitches the other day.
He needs to go game
right?
4. Win or loss tomorrow, he needs to go game 4. Because
That's what I was thinking.
if you're in an elimination game, King can't go and Darvish can't go. Your next best guy is Dylan Cease, and you don't want to do a bullpen game in an elimination day. Now, if you win, you don't want to go back to LA. So you still got to go the next day. Point is, this dude better be ready to go, and he better – I said it in the chat earlier. Potential elimination game, potential game where you can take the series at home. Your first playoff appearance in front of the Padres home crowd. There is no better time for a Dylan Cease legacy game, bro. No better time. So
yeah,
if you're gonna and off 3 days rest or what? Yeah, 3 days rest. So hey, if you want to have a career-defining moment, tomorrow's it, or not tomorrow. Sorry, Wednesday's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. I think he should go no matter what. Of course, it's going to be up to how he's feeling, but no matter how he's feeling, man, the adrenaline kicks in, and suddenly you feel like a superstar. And yeah, man, I'm excited for sure. Tomorrow's a huge game. The Padres, they got to take it, man. They got to take it. You got to take this momentum and ride with it. So it's a huge game tomorrow. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see King on the mound again. I'd be happy if he goes 5 or 6. Ideally 6 or 7, but I'll be happy if he goes 5. But main thing, take the Dodgers out of the game early. Get to Buehler.
Yeah, I do like the matchup against Buehler. You know what I mean?
Yep, of course.
Like, it's just like, I don't know. I like the matchup against him. Like I said, he had a good outing, but the fact that he threw 1 strikeout in 5 innings, the way that the Padres are hitting, the way that the Padres hit, that's built to go get rocked the next time. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's almost a good thing that they saw him. I mean, it is a good thing that you saw him like last week or like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Because then you're in a spot now where it's like, all right, like you just saw him pitch, like you saw what he's been. So yeah. I don't know.
All the momentum's on your side, man. Take it and ride with it. Do not give it back.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think it's gonna do it. Go Padres. I don't know when we'll be going live next. Sometime soon. But yeah, should be fun. Hopefully they win.
Go Padres.
We'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good one. See you guys.